Right, so we're having a look at this thing called song, which I'm working on a little bit at the moment, did last week. Last week we had a cushion, we stuck it behind the back. We were thinking about what the back does with skin in relation to the cushion, in relation to the chair. And this time what we're looking at is your sitting bones. So underneath you, on your pelvis, there's your shape of your pelvis underneath. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. It's sort of, there's almost two little hoops with holes in. So that's your sitting bones right at the bottom of there. Now then, the sitting bones in relation to the chair, very important. We might have touched on this, but we'll just have a little bit more of a look at it. So we don't need to do anything with the hands, get rid of them, do what you like with them, it doesn't matter. Okay, crown sitting bones, or if you like, crown perineum, which is better, but not a lot different. And the sitting bones is what you're sitting on. So when you're sitting down, the sitting bones play an important role and the crown. When you're standing up, the feet and the perineum sitting bones aren't in it. Feet, perineum, crown. But we're sitting down, so it's perineum, or if you like, sitting bones, and crown. So you feel your sitting bones on the chair. I want you to soften your sitting bones. It's almost like the skin is going to melt between you and the chair. Just let it undo. Now, be conscious of your crown of your head, but don't try and do anything with it. Relax your neck, but don't try and do anything with it, particularly no tucking under the chin. The important thing here is your relationship between the ischium, which are the little bones either side, the bits we're sitting on, and the chair. So all you do is you melt those two little bones at the bottom of your pelvis. Google it, look it up, look at the picture of your pelvis. You only have to put in pelvic anatomy and you'll see a picture, loads of pictures of the pelvis, and you'll see right at the bottom of those two little bones, and if you look up it'll say ischium, I-S-C-H-I-U-M, and I don't no idea what the plural is, tried to find out what the plural in Latin was. Probably ischia, but I don't know. So you just sink into that. Now, let them melt. Totally let them soften. Don't worry too much about the chair. That's going to stay as it is. It's your relationship to the chair that's important. And you can't change the chair, but you can change you. Okay, now keep doing that. Keep really working on letting go of the join between you and the chair. And as I say, it's you that needs to change, not the chair. You can't do anything about the chair. It's a fixed commodity. Okay, you're going to breathe in through your nose and you're going to lift up the perineum, still keeping those places very soft where it connects to the chair. Now just lift the perineum up. That's all you have to do. Okay. Just do it a couple more times. Once you've got the habit of just lifting the perineum up, you don't have to think about it anymore. It'll happen. It's on the in-breath, yeah? You lift up on the in-breath and you release on the out-breath, yeah? Now, what I want you to do now is when you breathe in, I want you to lift up really, really hard, almost like you're lifting here towards your crown. Try. What's happened to the sitting bones? Okay, do it again. Over hard, way, way too much. So you can feel possibly that what's happened is that the ability to really, really connect and soften those two areas which you're sitting on, the ischium, your ability to do that has completely altered. It's actually pulling where you're trying to relax, and you now can't relax them anymore. So therefore, we don't want to involve that song feeling on the pelvic bones. We don't want to affect it at all when we do the lifting up. So how how hard can you pull up without affecting those two bits there? So keep your focus on the 2 points of contact with the chair. I mean, I know it's more, but it's basically those 2 points. And you'll find that the amount of lift isn't that much that you can do before you start to overuse what you're sitting on. You start to tense it and draw it upwards and inwards, kind of following the lift. You know, it suddenly starts pulling everything upwards. So therefore, when you do this exercise, the lift is very tiny. You do not, you want to actually separate the two things. So when you lift the perineum up, the pelvic floor up, you really only want to lift the pelvic floor up. You don't want to draw anything else up from any direction as well. You have to separate them out. So just keep doing it. Now, once you start lifting up the pelvic floor the right amount, or you're not overdoing it, you can now focus more on your relationship with that chair, that stool, that whatever it is you're sitting on. Good. That's it. That's all we need to do. There's far more to go, but get that, and then you've got a solid foundation for working the energy stuff that we're doing in this class, for using it. I mean, we've worked on, pulling up here, pulling in here, all sorts of stuff, but it's more how you do it efficiently rather than what you do for the moment.